Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ken and Jenna here. We're just hanging out here at the house, stoking up the old fire. So just want to take a few minutes, just talk, just see what's going on, what's on my mind today. Real excited, some changes coming up. We're getting ready to make. Thinking about changing our lenders for investment properties or rentals so that we can be able to kind of move on to what we've started out. We started out with the goal of we were going to have 10 houses in 10 years, and that's kind of what we thought was going to work when we started this venture. But we quickly seen that really wasn't, the way that it worked, because when you're purchasing these properties, the margins, that you get per property are a lot lower, than what we thought. You don't make, but 100 or 200 possibly per unit. So that being said, 10 properties in 10 years was not going to work. So with running the business, the construction business, KCHI, it was all right, but I could see a couple years back, over 4 years back, before we got our first one, that a friend of mine, he's a contractor too, that I told him that I don't know how long, that the economy was going to keep up so that we could keep making money. So what I told him was, I think that we need to have a different out. And that being said, that's when we purchased our first property. And, now that we've kind of had ups and downs, of course, like anyone would, but, now that it's been about 4 years into it, and we are ready to take that next step. I'm currently going to phase out KCHI because all my time has to be devoted on working on these properties. We got one last one that I'm rehabbing, and then after that we'll see how things go, with this move that we're getting ready to do by changing lenders. I think that's going to open us up to get another multiplex, which we have been wanting to do. Knew that was the plan once we figured out that the 10 houses wasn't going to work. You have to run it in numbers and that's what we came to these multiplexes. So we got one multiplex, and between all of our properties right now, if we have one more multiplex, we figure we'll be able to get by and do the things that we've come accustomed to be doing with the money that was there to use to live on. So a lot of ups and downs with the rental market, but I still think that real estate is the best place to put your money. And when you have these things going and they're full, it's pretty cool, really, when you think about it, how you're making your income. It's basically, because other individuals, for whatever reason, don't own their own properties, they have to live somewhere. So why not live in your house, huh? So that's kind of something that's been on my mind. Real excited about making this move, and kind of seeing where this next phase in life takes us. and got so many things that I want to do and I never have time to do for one reason or another. Either you're working KCHI or you're working on your investment properties and rentals, and got a big shop, got a lot of materials, that I've saved here and there over the years, thinking I'm going to do this project, going to do that project. I never get to do it, but now feel like I'm very optimistic that that's going to really start happening. And like yesterday, I went out in the shop and I made a bracket for this tripod here so that I could put my iPhone on it until the GoPro 6 shows up Tuesday. It should be here, and then I want to start vlogging. I want to start vlogging what I do when I'm rehabbing the homes day to day, and just kind of vlogging things that are going on in life, and just kind of, it's a new thing. I think everyone's kind of starting to do this, so I'm real excited about it. I think it's going to be great. Also, we have a property where my daughter lives, and in the back, it's a real wooded area, and there's it's kind of like a mini forest, but it's in the city. And I've been watching a lot of bushcraft stuff on YouTube and kind of got hooked on it. Really seems cool, but I thought, well, you don't have any place to go to do anything like that, so you're thinking that, well, maybe you'd like to buy a piece of land so that you could have your own kind of forest, and then make your shelter or whatever you want to do on your own property. That would be great. Well, that would kind of turn into, I think, of a big deal about always having to try to get out there, or this or that, or all the things that come with that. So the more I thought about it, just hit me that, hey, why don't I do it where my daughter's at? And so really looking forward to getting that going. Like I say, when the camera shows up Tuesday, then whenever we start that project, we will start vlogging the whole thing as we start to build the camp, and kind of as the place transforms and the weather warms, and I'm really looking forward to that. And Myron, my grandson, I think he'll really love being able to come out there, and there'll be several different things that we can do out there. It'll be like camping, but you really don't have to leave the city. So kind of looking forward to doing that here shortly. As soon as the weather turns, start getting a little bit warmer days, I think we'll start working on that. So yeah, there's a lot of things coming down the pike I'm looking real forward to, and it's kind of got my optimism up, because I was really starting to get down in the dumps about how things weren't working out the way that we thought. And then like I said, our lender wasn't really, it's starting to seem like they were just kind of holding us back, and we really didn't understand why, because we were doing everything we were supposed to do, making all our payments and never being late. And we thought those were all the things that they told us we had to do so that we could proceed with what we started, the BOC investments. So like I say, next couple of weeks we'll know if we're going to be able to make this transition, and then things will start looking on the up, so that we can keep growing and flourishing, like I said, and then start being able to just have more time to enjoy life. Because there's making money's great, but you have to find the balance, and I know the balance doesn't come until you feel that that you're comfortable with what you're doing. But and I understand how you really have to get out there and hustle to get it, but once you can kind of reach that plateau, it's really a great feeling, and that's that's where I feel we're at. We're hitting that plateau finally, and it's a great feeling to know that, here in America, all you got to do is just work hard to get what you want, and you can get anything you want wherever you set your goals at. That's exactly what you can achieve. So don't let anyone tell you that because of this or because of that. It's not true. And then nowadays, with so many different ways to make money, you don't really have to have a job. You can do things like blogging and stuff like that now, and there's so many ways. All you have to do is really think about it, and pick what you want to do, and then don't let anything stop you from getting there. The reason why I got into the homes is because that's all I've done. That's all I've ever done since I was 16. And actually when I was a kid, maybe 8 or 9, 10 maybe, I don't know. But I was real young. I remember my grandma had a guy come over and work on her house and put some windows in and some other things, and I got to help him, and then I got to help him work on our house because my grandma owned our house too. And also she was a self-made woman, and that was always pretty cool. And my grandpa had done a lot of things on his own, worked self-employed, so that's, so you could kind of say that I almost, I knew from the very beginning that all you had to do was work. My dad instilled that in me, grandpa, grandma. So I'm kind of thankful now that we're finally getting to where your hard work is really paying off. And we're going to finally, this next year should be our turning point to where financially we can really breathe easy and then start to enjoy life and do the things that, I've always wanted to do, but for whatever reason, mainly because you don't have time. Everything is about the time, so, I'm looking forward to us having more time to just really starting to do the things we want to do, and it's just a great feeling. So, that being said, I think I'll end that here, and we'll just fade out with the warm ambiance of the fire.